In the last module, we talked about comparing the notes of an interval to the corresponding scale on the cheat sheet. And we asked ourselves a question: does it match or does it not match? So let's just start with that question, and then we're going to add the names of the qualities. So let's name the notes. Again, we must name notes before we can do anything else. So we have Every Good, so it's G flat. Every Good Boy Does, D flat. So we have those names. Now we have space notes. F-A-C-E, so this is C sharp, and this is below the bottom line, so it's D. So that's our first step always. Now let's go to the comparison process. We always use the scale that begins with the low note. In this interval, the low note is G flat. So I'm going to my completed cheat sheet. Yours will be handwritten, and I'm looking at the G flat scale. So I have, again, G flat and D flat. So I'm going to see if the D flat is in that scale, and it is. So the answer to my question is yes. Put an exclamation point. Now, here we have a descending interval, but remember that we're always working from the low note. In this case, the low note is D. That means I'm going to the D major scale. And I'm going to find out if there's a C sharp in the D major scale. So here's D major, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and the answer is yes. So yes again, it is in the scale. Now let's do a bass clef interval. And let me give you this interval, D, and I'm going to put an accidental by that one. So here we have good burritos don't, and good burritos don't fall apart, and it's A sharp. So again, our scale is D. So I'm going back to the D major scale, and I'm going to look to see if there's an A sharp. So here's my D major scale, D, E, F sharp, G, and you see it doesn't match. This says A, which is actually A natural, and the interval is A sharp. So in this case, the answer is no. Okay, now we're going to get complete names for all of these intervals. For right now, we're just going to ignore the ones where the answer is no, because we need different names for them. We're not going to get there yet. But if the answer is yes, we now have the ability to give complete names to these yes intervals. So first, let's calculate the size. This should be easy. Hold your thumb up and say G, count to D. Remember, we ignore the accidentals when we do sizes. So G, A, B, C, D. It's 5 fingers, so we write it as a fifth. While we're at it, let's do this one too. Okay, so you're going to hold your thumb up and say D. You're going to count to C. Now notice that these are spread pretty far apart, so this is going to be a big number. Okay, if you just count C to D, that you're going the wrong way, that means you're starting with the high note instead of the low note. You get a second, and that can't be right. Hold your thumb up and say D. Give you a moment to do this. Okay, let's do it together. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. How many fingers? D, E, F, G, A, B, C. 7 fingers. I checked myself to make sure I did it right, okay? Okay, so I doubted myself the first time. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So we came up, I think maybe I used the alphabet incorrectly the first time. So I came up with the 7th twice, so that must be the answer. Now, let's talk about the qualities. On your module, you see that if the size is a fifth, the name of the quality has to be the word perfect. And if the if the size is a second, third, sixth, or seventh, it has a different name, it's major. So all you have to do is know the size and know that it's in the scale, and that gives you the quality word. Now this interval takes a different name for its quality because it is not in the scale. So we'll be dealing with that in the next modules. But for right now, we have the name of all the intervals that we can come up with from the cheat sheet. That's already a lot of intervals that we can name. Firsts, fourths, fifths, and eighths all take the name perfect, and everything else, seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths, take the name major.